Hi all. So today we will do dynamic routing with routing information protocol. So for this I am making a small scenario. I am taking a router first. So for this I am taking any router, suppose 2911, and one more router I am taking. So two routers are there, and then I am connecting two client machines directly to the routers or via switch also. One I am connecting via switch, so I am taking one switch also. Here is one switch, and client machines I am taking one client machine here and one here, and one more laptop I am connecting, right? So now connect all the machines. I am taking a automatic cable. Otherwise between routers there is a which cable? Cross cable, right? So I am connecting both the routers with each other. This is a cross cable. So now router with the switch by using a straight cable, and then switch with the PC straight cable, switch with the laptop straight cable, and router with the PC again a cross cable, because router and PC or laptop are of the same nature, same behavior. So there is a cross cable between them. Now how many networks are over here? Here are one network, two network, and this one is the third network. This is small LAN having a switch. So this is a third network. Total three networks are here. So if I write here, this one is network 1, I can say. This one is network 2, and this one is network 3, right? So I will take a simple IP configuration here. Suppose this is a 10 network, this is 20, this is 30, right? So I'm giving the IPs now. So I am giving IP directly to the machines first. Open the PC. Third tab, desktop IP configuration. Here I am giving IPs 10.0.0.1. Second machine, similar way, 10.0.0.2, and subnet mask of class A. So the IPs are of this machine. The IP I am writing over here 10.0.0.1, and its subnet mask is class A. Similar way I am writing for second machine also, laptop. The IP address here we have assigned as 10.0.0.2. Alright, now we will configure the router. First router, this first router. Open it. We will make use of commands. So command line interface, I open it. Here it asks you, would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? No, we have to do a fresh configuration. So press once more. Router, this greater than sign means we have to enable it and enter into the privilege mode. So I write enable router hash is a privilege mode. So I here we have to write configure terminal so that we can enter into the global configuration mode of the router. So I write here configure space terminal. Now we are in the global configuration mode of the router. Here we can, yes, configure the interfaces of the router. So here the interfaces are two interfaces it have. One is gigabit ethernet 0 by 0, and one is gigabit 0 by 1, which is connected to switch. So I will configure this first, gig 0 by 1. So I write here command is interface space gig 0 by 1 in small case, right? Enter. We are in a interface configuration mode now. So next command is we have to give the IP address, IP space address. We have to give the, yes, 10 range of IP address here because this gig by 01 falls in this network 1. So here I am giving IP address 10.0.0.1 and 2 we have already given to the PC and laptop. So I can give here 3 in a serial order, or you can give any 4, 5, 10, 100, any. Right? Space subnet mask, class is default, and enter. Then you have to write command is no shutdown. By default all the interfaces are in a shutdown mode, so we have to write no shutdown. Now its state changed to up, changed state to up. Message also floats over here. Right, press enter key. Now this red color also turns into green. This one gig 0 by 1, this is up now. Now we will configure the second interface of this first router gig 0 by 0. So here I am writing interface gig 0 by 0. In my case, this 2911 router have gigabit ethernet ports. If you are taking any another router, maybe they have some other interfaces like fast ethernet, like that. Then you have to write accordingly what is the name of that interface. If it is fast, then write accordingly fa 0 by 0 or fa 0 by 1, whatever is over there. So we are into the interface, this configuration mode of gig 0 by 0. So I give the IP address. Here I am giving two networks, two I am giving 20 addresses, 20 range. IP address 20.0.0.1 space subnet mask, class A default, and no shutdown. Right, this is up now, given IP is given. All right, so we will close this window of router, first router. This gig 0 by 0 is still red. It will only turn into green when we will configure the next interface of second router, this gig 0 by 0 of second router, because gig by 0 by 0 of second router is connected to gig 0 by 0 of first router. So I open the second router. Similar way, CLI interface. Here, would you like to enter into initial configuration? No, we have to do a fresh configuration. So enable it first, configure terminal. Right, we are in a global configuration mode, so we have to configure it. So here the interface is gig 0 by 0, which is in the 20 network, second network. So here we have to give the IP address of the 20 range, gig 0 by 0. So I am writing interface gig 0 by 0, IP address 20.0.0.2. Now one we have given to the other routers interface, which is connected to this interface. Subnet mask and no shutdown. Now this interface also changed state to up. Now you can just check over here that both the interfaces are green. This network is up now, network 2. Now we will configure the second interface of second router gig 0 by 1, which is connected directly to the PC. Right, so this is gig 0 by 1. So we will configure this. Similar window, I write here interface gig 0 by 1. This is a network of range 30. Suppose I am giving IP address 30.0.0.1 space 2550.0.0 and no shutdown. Done. This interface is also up now, turns into green. Now we will configure the IP address of the machine. So I am opening machine now. This machine which is connected to second router, desktop IP configuration, the IP should be 30.0.0.2, and right, IPs are given now. Now next task is gateways. How many gateways are here in this network? three networks and two gateways are there. For this first network 1, there is this gateway. This gig 0 by 1 of router 1 act as a gateway for this LAN network 1 for these two machines. Okay, and second gateway is for this PC2, which is connected to second router, whose interface is gig 0 by 1, which act as a default gateway for PC2. And gig 0 by 1's address act as a default gateway address for PC2, and gig 0 by 1 of router 1 act as a gateway IP address act as a gateway for these two machines of the network 1, right? So we have to give the gateways now. So I'm opening the network 1's first machine IP. Here I am giving the default gateway. We have given 10.0.0.3 IP to the router's interface gig 0 by 0, which act as a gateway for these two machines. So 10.0.0.3 is a gateway, default gateway address. Similar for the second machine for network 1, default gateway 10.0.0.3. Similar way, this network third machine PC2 gateway is 30.0.0.1, which is given to the router's gig 0 by 1 interface. IP is given, right? And in router 1, gig 0 by 1 act as a gateway for network 1 machines, right? Okay, now IPs are given to all the machines. Next task is we have to configure the RIP, dynamic routing information protocol. So open the first router, and in this, how many networks are connected to router 1? There are only two networks, network 1 and network 2. That is 10 network and 20. And to router 2, second router, how many networks are connected? Again 2, which is network 2 and network 3 means 20 network and 30 network range. So we have to configure accordingly. Open the first router, CLI, press enter key. We are in a config if mode, so type exit command. By typing exit command, we can go back to the previous mode, right? Global configuration mode. From the interface configuration mode, we are going to the global configuration, previous mode, right? By typing exit command. Here we are typing the command router rip. Press enter key. We are in a now router configuration mode. Here next we are routing the networks. How many networks are connected with the router 1, first router? Just check, here are two networks. One is this network 1, which is of 10 range, and network 2, which is of 20 range. So we have to give here network addresses. So write the command network space network addresses. So network address of 10 network is 10.0.0.0. Second command network space 20.0.0.0. This is the network address of 20 network, second network, right? Done. Similarly, open the second router, use the exit command to go back to the previous mode. Here type the command router rip, and two networks are connected, one is 20 and one is 30. So similarly write network space network address 20.0.0.0, network 30.0.0.0. Do not type here network space 10.0.0.0, because 10 network is not directly connected to router 2. And similarly for router 1 also, do not write network space 30.0.0.0, because 30 network is not directly connected to router 1. Only we have to write those networks which are directly connected to the routers. Okay, so this is done. Now just check with the ping command. I am opening the first machine and I just open the command prompt, and here I am using ping command, ping space. I am pinging the third machine of the 30th network 30.0.0.2. It is taking time. Request timeout first. Now next Three replies are coming, means send packet 4 received 3. Again, if I check, yes, all the packets are sending as well as received. So lost is 0. Similarly, I am checking from this machine, ping to the 10 network 10.0.0.1. Yes, replies are coming, 4 packets sent and 4 received. Lost is 0. So done. In this way you can do the dynamic routing. Okay, means routing information protocol can be, yes, configured in this way. Thank you.